And alright, so pa-confirm ako, last topic natin is linear systems of equation. Tama ba? Or nag-proceed na tayo sa material balance? I think tapos na tayo sa material balance. Mhm. Mhm. Wala pa. Yan, hindi pa tapos. Sige, let's start. So dito may mga example dyan. Ang basis lang din ng discussion dito is yung linear system of equations din. You know that for material balance problems, you establish given and then yung figure, then you find out mga variables na related sa, let's say, feed, sa product. So we then ang gagamitin, let's say, with multiple equations, multiple variables, i-solve using dito, Excel. Yung approach lang din regarding the matrix. Tandaan natin yung concept dito, how to solve multiple equations, multiple variables using M inverse. So, ito yung example natin. Yan. Wait lang. Yan. So, again, if you are to create an equation, solution dito for this example, let's review. Let's first create a one matrix for the coefficients, then another matrix for constants. Pagkatapos, we dedicate the number of a certain number of cells para sa answer. So, nakalagay dito is, ulitin natin to. Yan. So, just have to type in yung equation coefficients dito on matrix A. Yung itong sa nakikita niyo sa screen. Wait lang. Full screen mode. So, tapos din. Para maka-zoom ako. And so, type in lang yung mga coefficients. So, we have there 1, -1, 1, -4, then constant na 20. For equation 2, you have there 2, then 0, 1, -1, 15, then 0, 3, 1, 0, constant 30, 2, 0, -1, and 2, then constant -10. So, to type in, yun lang, equals, first step is to select the 4 cells, then equals MMULT or MMMult. Hingan ka ng dalawang array. So, the product of the first array, which is the inverse matrix of the coefficients, so M inverse of this first array. Then, comma, the second array, which is the constants. Yan. Then, close parenthesis. Then, huwag kalimutan na hindi enter, but control-shift-enter to type in the answer. Kung enter yung gagamitin, mag-error siya, hindi siya mag-proceed. Okay. So, recap lang yun on how to use the M inverse, MMOT. Yan. So, dun tayo sa simple material balances. Let's start without recycle. So, ang mga problems dito, I'm sure you are familiar already with simple material balances. Let's say for this example, 3.2, meron tayong feed, then may certain waste, method, ito W, and then may product. By material balance, we get the feed, the product, or the composition. Ganun. So, ang gagawin ko example is itong 3.3 liquid adhesive, which is used to make laminated boards. Meron tayong polymer dissolved in a solvent. So, meron siyang percent polymer, percent solvent. Then feed, yun yung A, 500 kg. Then an unknown B, and then may composition siya na 0.2 and then 0.8. And then pure solvent C of unknown mass. Then we blend lang yung tatlo. It will yield polymer product P of certain percent polymer and then solvent. Ang hinahanap, two unknowns B and C. Yung amount nung isa pang polymer stream and isa pang stream yung sa solvent. Right? So, meron dito yung total balance. We all know how to establish a total material balance. And then, meron din component material balance. In this case, let's choose yung polymer balance. Ayan. So to establish first the coefficient, uh, pili natin yung equation 1, equation 2. So for matrix A, ito yung coefficients. Let's choose for B and C. So ito siya yung coefficient ng equation 1. So for variable B, it's 1. For variable C, it's also 1. Then yung constant, lagyan natin sa matrix na B ay, nakikita dyan, it's equal to the constant 3,000. Then huwag kalimutan yung 500 minus 500 siya kasi lilipat siya sa kabila. Hit enter, that's 25. Just to confirm pala, may open naman kayong Excel, no? Yung may pwede kayong mag-explore at the same time I'm discussing, or you may record this presentation or this session para at least meron kayong balikan. So yung mga open na Excel, pa-confirm ako ha if nasusundan nyo, pareak na lang. Yan. For the second equation, ang coefficients natin dito is yung for equation 2, you have there 0.2 for B and 0 for C. And then for the constant, kita dyan yung 0.13 times 3,000 minus, huwag kalimatan yung 500 sa kabila, that's 0.1 times 500. Ayan. So, meron na tayong equation, coefficients, and then whole number, yung constants. So, we need to get now the value of B and C. So, to get the value of B and C, ganun lang. Same how to solve using multiple equations, multiple variables. Type in equals MMULT. First array is M inverse of the constants, close, comma. The second matrix, yung constants. Yung whole number constants. Then, close, parenthesis, control, shift, enter. Yan. So, I think merong akong kulang dito. So, ang sagot, B is 1,700, C is 800. Okay. Then, with that, tingnan naman may something wrong dito. Tingnan sa constants. Ayun. 0.13 times 3,000 pala dapat. When you hit enter, yan. So, lalabas yung sagot. This is the value of B. Then, this is the value of C. Yan. Okay? So, sir, ano pong essence? Ba't pa nag-Excel? Pwede namang direct material balance. So, that is useful kapag higher order, mas madami ng variables ang hinahanap. So, let's say, mayroon tayong 5 equations, 5 unknowns, papa-material balance. Hindi mas mabilis siya ma-solve kaysa calculator or kaysa manual solution. So, how is this done on the calculator? Tandaan nyo, I have here my calculator on screen. So, ganun lang din yun sa calculator mode, then equation, and then yung first option and second option dito, yan yung for 2 equations, 2 unknowns, and 3 equations, 3 unknowns. Pareak naman ako if you can see my screen. Baka pala hindi ako nag-share. Ay, kita naman, no? Sige. So, ito, paano siya solve sa calculator, typical calculator, ito siya yung number 1. Then, ganun lang din yung gagawin natin. We usually input yung coefficients, and then yung whole number, yung constants. Then, 0.2, then 0, then 340. Tapos, when you hit equal, ayun na yung may 17 and 800 na sagot. Okay? So, with that, ang key takeaway lang dito pag nagsosolve material balance is establish muna natin yung material balance equations. So, pag may material balance equations na tayo, we can then translate it into dito sa Excel, no? Excel form, basta meron tayong coefficients, meron tayong constants, then masasolve niya na yung value ng mga variables. So, meron tayo ditong triple effect evap. Yan, may sample din yan. Okay? So, you may solve that. Lalabas sa exam. Yan. For simple material balance with recycle, pwede natin, if you can recall, kailangan to ng iteration or though kaya naman siyang i-solve manually dito, may solution din siya. So sa Excel, kailangan dito is yung ma-enable natin yung iterative calculation. Kasi possible na maka-encounter tayo ng tinatawag na circular referencing. So in this case, how do we enable the iterative calculation? So yung may mga Excel, open, go to File, then click Options. Ayan. So dapat lalabas yung Excel options. When you go to Formulas, ayan, pa-confirm ako if nakikita nyo yung may mga Excel na nakabukas. If you can see the option na workbook calculation, no, meron ba? May nakikita ba kayo? Ayan. So katabi nun is yung enable iterative calculation. You just have to click that. No? Check nyo lang yan. So you have there the maximum iterations, maximum change. So yun yung gagawin ni Excel. 100 maximum iterations kung may mga problems na mag-involve ng circular referencing. Okay. So when you click OK, ayan, so pag magsusolve ka ng material balance, for example, itong problem ito, yung 4.1G, meron dyang mag-iterate using itong feed F, itong G, and itong R. So if you were to try, meron niyang mag-circular reference dyan kung hindi naka-enable ang iterative calculation. Pero pag naka-enable siya, si Excel mismo yung mag-force ng mga values at magsasakto yung mga given. Yan. So masasolve niya yan. Try nyo, isolve yan. So I'll leave that to you for you to practice. Ito yan ay simple material balance with recycle. Okay. Yan. Yan. So next topic is itong evaluating elementary formulas, equations, expressions by multi-point plotting. So ang kailangan natin matutunan dito is fitting polynomial curves and data correlation. Alright, so recap muna kanina is we have reviewed itong sa material balance na linear system of equations, how to solve using MMULT and M-inverse. Then you need to establish first a certain number of equations para makapag-generate ka ng system of equations. Then pag ita-translate na siya to Excel, you follow the format na you have coefficients, then constants, and then yung variables. Tapos, if you're dealing with circular referencing, you have to enable iterative calculation. Yeah. So next topic, dito tayo sa pag-i-insert ng mga equations. So we have what we call a scatter plot, no, to visualize relationship between what we call an x variable. So we all know usually pag x variables are independent variables, and then pag y variables, ito yung mga dependent variables. So typically when you have two variables, x and y, and x is not dependent on y but y is being dependent on x, you can use this chart called scatter plot. So dito siya makikita no, sa Excel home. When you click insert, and then makikita dyan yung charts. Then when you click the one that has insert scatter, meron dyan. So pa-confirm ko if yung mga may open Excel, if you can malocate nyo ba yung insert scatter. Insert scatter na chart, yung XY. So pareak na lang ha, if you can see where insert scatter is. Okay, so locate nyo naman. So continue ko lang, how do we use this feature? Meron tayo ditong Antoine equation. Example to determine the what we call vapor pressure. Okay, so ang vapor pressure dito is an equation of logarithm of the P, which is the vapor pressure. So ito yung vapor pressure, the pressure required na at which no phase change yung liquid to gas at a certain temperature T. Yan. Pag yung temperature na ay 100 degrees Celsius, so vapor pressure is equal to 1 atm, 1 atmosphere. So yun yung boiling. Tinatawag siya na normal boiling point yung temperature na yan. So for water, meron tayo ditong constants na A, B, and C. How do we plot this on Excel? So, ganun lang. Ang gagawin natin is, let's set values dito sa X na delete ko lang to para mayroon tayong sample again. So, where we have here pressure in millimeter mercury, 0, 10, 20, hanggang 100. And then, to compute for vapor pressure, type lang natin to equation and then we can solve for, solve na Excel yung P or vapor pressure. So, try natin. So, equals, anong equation niya? Logarithm. So, ito, logarithm, how do we set that sa Excel? Okay. So, ito lang. Transform natin yung logarithm to explicit ng logarithm of the vapor pressure P equals A minus B over C plus T. Raise to 10 lang natin para mag-cancel out yung logarithm on one side. Pero raise to 10 natin both sides. Yan. So what will happen, this will become P, vapor pressure, is equal to 10 raised to the power of A minus B over C plus T. Yan. So ito yung type natin dito sa Excel. So P equals 10 raised to the power of constants A, B over C plus T. Type natin equals 10 raised to the power of, and then dito ay A. Ang value ni A is 8.07131 minus, we have here a quotient. So type natin yung quotient. May numerator, may denominator. Nasusundan ba? Pareak naman. If you have no concerns, clear naman ang screen, baka ay nagde-delay. Okay naman. Sige. So numerator is B, so 1730.63. And then for denominator, we have C, 233.426 plus temperature. So ang temperature dito, if you can recall, is yung nasa X axis. So select mo lang yun. Ito. Alright? When you hit enter, you have there the first vapor pressure, 5. At 0.05, ang unit ata nito is degrees Celsius. Yan. Wala. Okay. At 0.05 degrees Celsius, vapor pressure is 5 millimeter mercury. So, autofill, you have to just drag this down. And lalabas na at 100 degrees Celsius, meron tayong 760 millimeter mercury na vapor pressure. Or yan yung 1 atm. So, ito yung boiling point, yung 100 degrees Celsius. So, how do we visually illustrate this? So, ang kailangan matutunan dito is yung paano gumamit ng chart. So, highlight your data, then go to insert, then you have the recommended charts, or scatter. So, pag i-click yung scatter, so may options kayo dyan. Scatter na dots lang or data points. Merong scatter na may smooth lines. Meron ding option na smooth lines lang. May options na straight line with markers or straight lines na hindi smooth. So, it's up to you to choose. Let's say, piliin ko is itong scatter lang. Yan. Okay. Then, pag sinelect nyo yan, ay may lalabas na option for you to freely design. Yan. So, chart design tayo. Ito. Kita nyo ba? Pareak na lang ako ha. If you can see it on your screen. Yan. Okay. So, ang kailangan matutunan dito is how to use the chart. So, mga features dyan is data points can be added with a trace. Data labels. So, paano mag-add ng data labels? When you click on the chart, right-click kayo. Yan. Meron siyang add data label. So, when you add data label, yan. Yeah, so may number na lalabas. Okay. meron din tayong user can customize color, font, view, crosshair, etc. So, pag color, dito sa chart design, meron dyang fill, change colors, or dito sa format, yan, lagyan natin ng kulay. Ayan. Maganda. O kahit ganun na lang, green. Orange. Yan. So, nasa inyo na yan. Pagandahan na lang kayo paano mag-present ng mga charts. And then, ang critical dito is yung tinatawag na trend line. So, how to add trend line. Ito yung when you click the chart, okay, doon tayo sa chart design, lalabas dito yung quick layout. So, sa quick layout, when you click that, pwedeng piliin yung may FX. Ayan. So, immediately, hinover nyo lang yung mouse sa FX, lalabas na yung possible view or yung layout mismo ng chart. Yan. Kita nyo ba? Ang current na naka-display. Ito yung scatter plus merong so you can see there a dashed line. Yan yung tinatawag na trend line. So, click ko yan. Halibang kulay. Gawin kong red. Yan. Tapos yung background ng chart, gawin ko na lang lighter. Kasi hindi, sakot sa mata. Ayan. So, can you see now yung trend line? Alright. So, yung trend line can be added using chart design, then go to quick layout, layout number 9. Or when you go to add chart element, andun yung trend line na option. Meron dyang none, linear, exponential, linear forecast, moving average. So we will explore that each isa-isa. So when you click the linear na trend line, may kaakibat siya dyan na equation, no? So bigyan natin ng kulay din para mas kita. Yeah. So nakita dyan yung equation, if it's linear, so it is used to predict the value of vapor pressure Y kung meron tayong certain value ng temperature X. Pero evidently, yung trend line natin dito ay hindi siya, ano sa tingin nyo, parang hindi siya fit, di ba, sa mga scatter points. So, ang quantity na nagme-measure ng data fit is yung R squared. Capital R squared, yes. So, yung correlation coefficient squared. Yung R is correlation. So, R squared, yun yung nag-predict nung itong fit, no, data fit. Pag yan ay malapit sa value ng 1, so meaning nag-fit yung trend line sa actual data mo or yung scatter data points. The further it is from the value of 1, whether negative 1, positive 1. So pag R squared, ang value dito lagi is positive. Pag malapit siya sa 1, it means na mas nagiging fit yung trend line mo or yung equation mo. Minomodel mo ngayon yung scatter data points mo using linear na trend line. Pero alam naman natin dito na ang equation ng vapor pressure is ito, logarithm P A minus B over C plus T. So ang question nandiyan, what if hindi natin alam yung equation? We have the data points and we are tasked to predict ano kaya yung, let's say, vapor pressure at a temperature na nag 100 nag 96. Yan. Sir, interpolate na lang po. Pwede naman. So, but if you have the actual equation, hindi gagamitin yung actual equation. But you have trend line, pwede namang using trend line. Basta gagamitin yung equation na lalabas. So, when you click the trend line, double click, you have their options ng trend line. So, andyan una, when you click exponential, by default, nakalinear siya, nakita nyo naman. Alright. So, pa-confirm ako if kita nyo yung linear na line, yung naka-color red. Okay. So, if I were to change the option to exponential, yan. So, makikita nyo na magbabago yung trend equation and a trend line. It will follow the pattern of exponential pattern. Ang value ng R squared ngayon is 0.98, 0.9854, and with a new value ng equation, naka E or natural number E. Let's try as well logarithmic. Ayan. So what can you observe sa logarithmic? Mas malayo yung fit, no? Yung data fit. Kasi yung value ng R-squared is nasa 0.23. And then kita din na yung line, parang hindi siya fit talaga dun sa data. Ayan. When you click polynomial, ayan, anong lalabas sa polynomial? Wala ang equation. Ayan, ayan yung equation ng polynomial. Nasa 0.9851. Halos hindi siya nag-fit, no? Kasi parang yung line, iilang points lang yung kanyang nababangga. So, dito din sa polynomial, meron pala tayong tinatawag na order. Kung ano yung order ng polynomial na i-fit ni Excel. So, meron niyang naka-order of 2, meaning quadratic, no? Naka-square. And general trend pag ganyan, naka-squared or naka-cube. As you increase the order, mas lumalapit yung R squared or yung correlation number dun sa more rigorous yung kanyang pag-fit ng data. Okay? Kita ba na nag-change yung R squared to 0.9996 compared kanina na pag nasa order of 2 lang, yun, hindi siya sakto. Pwede din to the power of 4, yan, R squared na siya equals 1. Yan. So, for practical purposes, edi mag-settle kayo din sa value ng R squared na sa tingin nyo fit or enough na. And hindi siya hassle in terms of typing the value. So, ito, ganito kahaba. I think okay na for me. Tatanggapin ko na yung to the third power. Yan. Okay. So, meron ding other option aside sa polynomial, meron ding power bilang mismo. So, kita dito sa power, medyo malabo, no? Ang layo ng kanyang curve fit. Nasa 0.65447. So, ano kaya yung best fit for this data? So, based dito, I think okay ang polynomial din. We'll choose third order siguro. Yan, third order. Okay. Meron din option dyan, yung moving average. So, yung moving average naman, approximation method siya na hindi nagbibigay ng equation because ang ginagawa niya lang dito is ang value ng prediction is average ng last two value. Let's say, predict ko yung value ng 100. So, i-average niya yung value ng 80 and 90. Yung parang temperatures between the last two. So, kaya siya moving average is i-average niya yung mga previous values to predict the next value. And then, moving average in the sense na every time nag-predict ka ng next value, edi mag-move din yung mga numbers na isa-select mo for i-average mo. Yan. So, you can also change the moving average as you increase the moving average period. Let's say, gawin natin 5, mas lumalayo yung trend line. Yan. So, balik tayo dun sa polynomial na lang, then third order. Yeah. I think for me, this is sufficient. Yeah. Okay. So, when you design your chart, pwede din pala itong axis titles. Palitan nyo yan nung tamang label, yung X. Yung y-axis natin dito, vapor pressure. So, lagyan nyo lang equals ito, vapor pressure. Tapos yung axis for X is temperature. Yan. So, at least presentable, maganda, and ma-interpret ng kung sino man yung magbabasa ng chart. Yan. Okay. Alright. So, how to add more data? Let's say, madami ka pang data na gusto idagdag sa chart. Meron kang feature din na ganun. When you go to chart design, puntahan natin yung select data. So, pa-confirm ako if kita nyo yung select data. Ang ginawa ko lang is when you click the chart, lalabas yung chart design and then select data. Ayan. So dito, may option dyan no, to add. When you add a series, yun, maglagay ng name, then value, x values, then values ng y. So dapat of same dito na makikita din dito yung value para madagdagan yung chart. So let's say magdagdag pa ako dito ng isa pang data. 6, 20, 25, 30, 80, then 200, 250, 300, 400, 500, 600. Yan, sample lang. So for me to add data, click the chart design, select data, add, series name, random. Lagyan ko lang na random. Ang x values niya, for example, is still the same. And y values is itong bagong data. Ganun lang, mag-select nyo lang. So makikita ngayon sa chart yung bagong data set, yung random, yung kulay orange. Change natin yung color. Pwede kayo mag-change ng color. Fail, baguhin natin. Yan. Okay. Tapos, pwede nyo din yung lagyan ng sa kanyang sariling trend. So, add trend line lang. Yan. Pwede ding exponential, pwedeng logarithmic, polynomial, so on and so forth. Okay. Yan. So, sir, ano pong application natin sa plotting? Meron pa palang isa pang way no to choose which charts ang applicable. When you go to insert charts, highlight nyo yung data nyo, go to data, meron tong tinatawag na recommended charts. Okay? So yung unknown, for example, yung hindi nyo alam anong magandang chart na gamitin, yung recommended charts, then si Excel na mag-recommend ng anong magandang chart na gamitin. So pinakauna dyan, yung scatter. Ayan. Pwede din palang clustered column, pwede ding stack, pwedeng line, basta yung visually appealing and at the same time, maintindihan. Yung kayo mismo, maintindihan nyo din. Ayan. So I think, okay din ang clustered column or yung clustered bar. Okay. So plotting can be used to solve optimization problems by inspection or by visual aid, as visual aid. Hahanapin mo yung data, given may mga problem na ganito, then hanapin natin yung, let's say, question, daily profit at a production schedule giving the minimum cost. So pag ipa-plot natin, let's say ito yung data, alin yung minimum, hindi hahanapin natin yung pinakadulo na nasa lower part. So pag ang kanyang minima, no? Tama ba? If you can recall sa difficult, yung may maximum, minima. Maximum point, minimum point. Yan. So, this example, you solve this example, no, on your end, pwede nyo i-explore to. Interpret nyo why ganito yung solution, but naging ganito yung sales, ganito yung expenses. Tapos mga questions is minimum cost or maximum daily profit. So, kung before, kailangan mag-differential calculus. Dito, i-chart nyo na lang. Pa-plot lang yung data. If you can recall sa assignment, may ganito akong binigay ata. Ang gagawin lang is, you establish first equation. Excuse me. Pag may equation ka na, no need mo na i-differentiate. Pa-plot mo na lang and then hahanapin mo within the chart yung maximum value, yung minimum value. Ayan. Para ang solution dito is parang by inspection. Yan. Solution by inspection siya. Graphical, tapos inspection. Hanapin yung may maximum value or minimum value. Yan. Kasi ito, break-even point, gano'n lang din yan. Hanapin lang yung point na mag-intersect yung dalawang equation. ang itong typical applications ito is yung pinapasolve na optimization problems, yung maximum of something or minimum of something, tapos may equation na binigay. Kung hindi man given ang equation, again, you have to establish first the equation. Malalaman mo na hindi ata tama yung equation mo pag pinlat mo dito sa Excel ay wala kang makitang maximum or minimum. Yung parang, let's say, ang expectation, ang curve is quadratic, tapos ang lumabas sa graph mo is line or linear. Yan. So you need to be careful. Yan. Okay. Any questions so far? Clarifications? Meron ba? So before we proceed sa next topic, clear naman. No? Pareak lang ha. Pareak if walang concern, thumbs up na lang and proceed. So I think may part na ba yung assignment? Feel ko may mga nasagutan na kayo. Nag-check na ako ng assignment kaya nasasagutan naman. So confident ako na kaya nyo. Alright. Yan. So recap ko lang yung I hope kaya nyo pang gumamit ng GoalSeek. Tandaan nyo pang gumamit ng Solver. Yan. So doon pasok din yung simplex linear programming. You can choose yung may simplex. Okay, so recap is how to use the Excel for systems of linear equation solution. Yung mmult, m-inverse of coefficients, tapos multiplied by constants. Then, dedicate number of cells for the answers. Huwag kalimutan na mag-Control-Shift-Enter. Then, for material balance, ganun lang din. Establish first equation bago isolve linearly. And then, kung may na-encounter na circular referencing, enable natin yung iterative calculation. So, you may solve itong with recycle na problem just to try, Ang gagawin lang, may equation naman na dito, or you may start from scratch, try nyo i-solve yung equations. Then, solve yung recycle na R and then yung G. Pag andito ay pwedeng mag-circular reference error yan. But if enabled ang iterative calculation, hindi yan mag-error. Next is how to use yung scatter plot or paano mag-insert ng chart. Basta so long as you have a table showing x and y, one for your x-axis, one for your y-axis, or multiple y-axis. So, makaka-generate ka ng chart just to use the insert scatter, or kung dito ka kung anong pwedeng chart na gamitin, you may use recommended charts. Ayan. Clear naman, no? Okay. Right. Sige. Tapos, for optimization problems, just have to use scatter plot. Scatter plot lang din to. Then, hahanapin lang by inspection yung minimum and maximum. Yan. So, start tayo sa descriptive statistics, data correlation, forecasting, regression, and curve fitting. Yan. So, let me proceed na ha. For correlation, this is a feature na makikita sa data analysis. So before anything else, ensure natin na naka-configure ang data analysis. So yung may mga Excel na nakabukas, when you go to data, data tab, so lalabas yung analyze dyan or data analysis. So pa-confirm ako kung sino yung may data analysis. I think gumamit na ba tayo nito before? Hindi ko lang sure. Ang sure ako is gumamit na ng solver. Then pina-enable ko na yung data analysis before sa inyo. So if hindi siya enabled, go to file, ito options, add-ins, then kasabayan ng data analysis kasabay yan nung solver before. Solver add-in and then analysis toolpack, pina-check ko na yan. Dalawa. Pag okay, click okay na yan. Lalabas dapat yung ganito, data analysis. Let's start with correlation. Paano ginagamit yung correlation? Yan. So, when you say correlation, it does not necessarily mean causation. Or pag nag-correlate siya, it doesn't mean na nagko-cause siya. Yung x and y natin kanina for equations, di given yun na dependent and independent variables. But if you have data na walang equation, pero naka-tabular form, and gusto nyo malaman if nagko-correlate ba yung dalawa, you can use this feature correlation to know if meron bang correlation. Pag positive 1 yung value ni R, tinatawag siyang perfect positive correlation. Pag negative 1 naman, edi perfect pero negative correlation. When you say positive or negative, nagdedepende siya if yung proportionality, no, directly proportional ba? As one increases, the other one also increases. Or inversely proportional. Pag nataas yung isang value, nababa naman yung isang value. Merong highly positive, may highly negative. Yun yung mga around negative 0.8 to positive 0.8. Meron ding yung low negative or low positive correlation. And then meron ding no correlation at all pag ang R is equal to 0. So pag in-square mo yan, yung R, magiging R squared. Yun yung sa curve fitting kanina. So always positive yun. Pero dito sa correlation, may sign siya ng negative ba or positive. This is for you to know if yun nga inversely proportional ba siya or directly proportional or walang correlation at all pag approximately 0. Okay. So gawa tayo ng example itong dito. Yan. Okay. So we have here our data, sample data, no? If yung may mga Excel kayo dyan, pwede nyo kopyahin to. Temperature T, pressure P in atmosphere, and then yield, no? May chemical reaction ka na may dependence sa temperature and pressure. But we don't know yet if meron ba siyang impact sa percent yield. So we can determine it using correlation. So gawin natin, copy your date, copy ko lang to. Then paste ko siya under sheet. And so kita nyo ba yung table? I'm on a new sheet ngayon. Ayan. So, gagawin, just have to go to data analysis and then select natin yung correlation. Ayan. When you click correlation, lalabas dyan yung input range. So, ang input range natin, select lang natin yung data na T, P, and Y. Ginagroup siya by column. Then, label ay present in the first row, kaya i-check natin yan. Then, output range, kung saan niya ilalabas yung sagot. Di select lang natin yung cell na katabi dito sa chart. Or anywhere within the sheet para lalabas yung sagot. Yan. So, ito ngayon yung binigay ni Excel. Ito ngayon ang correlation chart. Yan. Kita nyo ba? Just to confirm, pareho na lang visible. Yan. So, what does this mean? Yan. So, may mga value dyan na 1. So, that's because nagko-correlate yung temperature with itself. 1. Pag in temperature versus pressure, nagko-correlate din 1. Yan. If si pressure versus itself, hindi 1. So, ito, yung last row, yun yung may mga values na complete. Okay? So, temperature versus yield, yes, may correlation. Highly correlated, no? Tingnan nyo, it's because of 0.98. For pressure, also highly correlated, almost the same value. 0.98359. Then Y, 1. So yield is correlated, completely correlated sa, perfectly correlated rather, sa sariling value niya na Y. Yan. Okay. So yun lang, yun yung correlation, just to know if may correlation ba between temperature pressure, pressure yield, or temperature yield. Yan. Next question, next topic is itong regression. So itong regression is another feature na nandun din sa data analysis. So we're gonna create a equation using regression, but it assumes a linear relationship, no linear regression. Yeah, relationship between variables like temp, pressure, concentration can be often approximated as linear. Helps establish and predict the dependent variables such as mga ganitong problem, yield, reaction rate, based on changes in the independent variable. So ang best application niya is itong tinatawag na parameter estimation. So estimate yung ganitong value given t given p given yan. So multiple variables can be used to predict one single y variable or one single dependent variable. So paano kaya siya gagawin? So ito tinatawag na linear regression or multiple regression. So how to do it: insert regression via the data analysis, and then utilize constants formulate the linear model of the following format. Yan. So that's yung format niya. Yan, so nakikita nyo dito, one predictor model. So we have one variable equals, typically binibigyan kayo ng constant 0 plus constant 1 times variable 1 plus certain error e. Pag multivariate na regression, so meron tayong isang variable y equals c0 plus c1 x1, where x1 represents one variable plus another constant c2 x2, which represents another variable na possible na maka-affect or impact dun sa y. Then plus one constant error. Kung walang error, di usually nilalet go or zero value lang yan. Yan. So, sir, ano practical applications ng ganito? Hindi, yun nga, ang alam ko dito, natandaan ko is statistical data. Let's say you have a statistics on the score, no? Score mo sa exam. Gawin mo yung y, may data sila na may itong value c0 plus nakaka-affect yung isang variable c1, let's say x1, where x1 represents nakaka-affect ba yung distance ng bahay mo sa school. Tapos isa pa possible is siguro C2 x2, where x2 represents a value equivalent to ano pang possible maka-affect sa scores ng exam. Sige, baon. Kung ilan yung baon ng isang estudyante, can it affect his or her score sa exam? Yan. So on and so forth. But like, for example, ano pa? Let's say may isa pang parameter dyan na possible na maka-affect. Let's say single ba or taken. Pwede din. Ganon. Single or taken ang estudyante. If the student is single or taken, does it have an effect on his or her final grade or score? Why? And so, sir, saan po makikita yung C1, yung C2, C3? So, yun yung kukompute ni Excel. Yan. So, gawa tayo ng example dito, yung padeng temperature, pressure, and Y. Let's say, ganun, no? Gawin nating X variables yung temperature and pressure, then Y is yield. Kasi tanong sa exam, ano kaya ang magiging yield if may temperature tayo na 55? No? Or ano kaya yung yield pag ang pressure is 3.0. Yan. Okay. Okay. Then, ang question dyan is, ano yung yield? Let's say, ang pressure dito is 1.55. 1.66 yan. Then, dito naman, ang second example, if 3 yung pressure pero ang temperature niya is nasa 92 degrees Celsius. Ano kaya yung value ng yield yung dito sa orange? So, we need to establish what we call linear regression, and then yung equation, kukunin natin. So, go to data, and then data analysis. Yan. Lalabas dyan yung options again. Kita yung correlation, right? Ang titingnan nyo this time is regression. Nasa pinakadulo lang yan. Yan. Regression. When you click regression, click OK, lalabas yung option for regression. We have there input Y range. So, type natin yung Y. Ito siya, yung yield. And then, input X range. Ang X range natin dito is itong T and P. So, highlight natin yan. Then, for demonstration purposes, click natin yun may label. Then, well, constant is 0. Huwag natin check yun. Though pwede naman, may ibang simulation na naka-check ang constant is 0, may iba din na wala. So, try natin na wala, hindi siya naka-check. And then, confidence level, output range, dito natin siya papalabas sa or pwedeng a new worksheet na lang, no? Then, check the residuals, residual plots, line fits, normal probability plots for demonstration purposes. Makikita natin anong lalabas. When you click OK, you will be directed onto a new sheet. Then, makikita dyan yung summary output. Yan. So, ito yung normal probability plot, pressure line fit, meron tayong T-line fit, residual plot, then TNP. Yan. So, ang kailangan gamitin dito is yung coefficients. Kita nyo ba? Yung coefficients. Yan. So, follow nyo pa ba? Ano yung asa na tayo dito? Alright. So, yung line fit plot, kita dito yung orange and blue. Yung blue, yung actual data natin, yung meron dito sa table. Tapos, yung Y is yung color orange is yung predicted value if gagamit ka ng prediction. So, this time, mapapredict natin kung ano yung value ng yield. So, ito yung coefficients niya. Kita agad yan, no? So, how to write it? Nandito na siya. So, y equals yung intercept. So, that's one constant. So, lagay natin 17.939 plus temperature. For the variable na temperature, ang constant natin is 0.623 times temperature plus anong constant for pressure? Yan, 0. So, 0 times pressure. So, this equation tells us na yung yield natin is practically dependent on temperature alone. Kasi itong 0 times P, masa-simplify yan, no? Mawawala yan. Ang equation na matitira is itong Y equals 17.939 plus 0.623 T. So, evidently, linear siya. So, let's do that to predict. Let's use that to predict. Ano kaya yung pressure? Ano yung yield rather? Yan. So, equals, ano yung equation natin dito? Yan. So, type natin. So, let's say if yung temperature natin dito is 55 and ito is another temperature 130, ano yung expected yield? So, equals 17.939 plus 0.623 times temperature. Ang temperature is itong 55. Okay. So, when you click that, ano yung temperature na labas? Ano yung yield? So, 52%. So, try natin at 100. Yan. So, nung lumabas at 100, nasa 80.239. So, sir, kita po na 100 is 80.239 ang predicted yan. Ngayon, based sa chart, ang 100 mo, 82. So, may error ka. So, how to get to the error is yun lang. Actual 82 minus 80. So, yun yung error mo. And then, let's say, ang hinihingi is, what is the temperature if I want a yield na 96%. So, how to do it? Go to data, then ito, alam naman natin to goal seek. if I want here ng 96 yung ating yield, edi papa-adjust natin kay Excel. So currently, at 0 temperature, ang yield is 17. We want a 96% yield. So go to goal seek to a value of 96. And then, by changing cell, yung temperature. When you click temperature and okay, yan, real time i-adjust ni Excel, bibigay siya ng temperature. So the temperature corresponding to 96% yield is 125.30 degrees Celsius. Ayan. So dun magagamit yung regression. Yan. So what we have here is regression and regression tsaka correlation. Okay, so ito na yun. Conversely, significant value of P suggests the change predictor are not associated. So, yield is 17. Use pressure kasi 0 na siya. Yeah. Any questions? Clarifications? Proceed tayo. Yan, okay. Thank you. Proceed tayo sa next feature na data analysis. Ito yung descriptive statistics. Yan. So, meron tayong data dito. Gamitin natin to. Alright. I have here months. And then, this is supermarket A. Sales niya. Then, you have here a second supermarket B. Sales. Yan. What if ang question during the exam is like this? Which supermarket kaya ang mas madami ang earnings? Alin yung may mas mataas na variance? Aling supermarket ang nakapag benta consistently? Ano yung average supermarket sales ni B or ni A? Yan. So, these are just basic statistics question, and to execute yung basic statistics, meron feature na ganun sa data analysis. When you go to data analysis, hanapin natin yung descriptive statistics. Yan. So, pag makita nyo yung descriptive statistics, when you click OK, lalabas ngayon yung options. So, input range, gano'n lang din. Input natin yung data dalawa, A and B, supermarket A, supermarket B. Then, click label in the first row. Then, for demonstration purposes, ang lalabas dito is yung mga statistics na basic, kino-compute. And then, siguro output range dito na lang within the sheet. Yan. So, when you click OK, yan, lalabas ngayon yung statistical data. Yan. Kita nyo ba? Meron tayo dyang mean, standard error, merong median, mode, kurtosis, merong ano pa? Largest value, smallest value. Merong maximum, minimum, may range. Yan. So let's say ang question sa exam nga is, aling supermarket kaya ang mas may madaming total sales? So alin kaya sa tingin nyo? Which supermarket has larger total sales? Okay, so pag ganun, tatanungin alin supermarket yung mas may madaming benta. Di titingnan niyo yung sum, total sales. So basically, ang supermarket na may mas madaming benta is supermarket A, 16238 versus 16028. Yan, ganun lang gagawin sa exam choices lang naman yan. Either A or B. Ano yung difference between the average sales ni B versus average sales ni A? So ito lang, minus mo lang yung sale ni A kay B. Sagot, around $7. Ano pa mga ganung question? Aling supermarket ang mas consistent ang benta, hindi fluctuating, yung mababa ang variance. So meron dyang variance or standard deviation. So the lower the value, the better is it. Mas consistent siya. So yun, supermarket A. So ganun lang, mga typical questions na pwedeng encounter nyo during exam. So ang feature na ginamit dito again is descriptive statistics. Okay. So kanina, recap, ano ginawa natin dito? Okay. Nag-correlation na tayo, which is okay na. Correlation. So for correlation, magaling na kayo dyan. Titingnan lang dyan yung value ng R, no? Tapos dito naman, merong anong kinumpit dito? Kinumpit dito ay regression. Tapos ito ay descriptive statistics to. Descriptive statistics. 1, 2, 3. Yan, tatlong features na yun. So, continue tayo. Next is curve fitting. So, yung curve fitting, kanina na-discuss ko na how to do curve fitting. Magagawa lang kayo ng curve or ng equation that will fit your data. So, number 1, data visualization. First, the data is plotted on a graph, usually scatter. Tapos, pwedeng mag-add ng trend line. Then, number 3, selecting the type of curve, linear, exponential, logarithmic, or compower ba, or moving average. Tapos, display the equation R squared value, then use the equation to predict other future values. So, meron tayo ditong sample data and reaction rate. Gawa natin example ito. Okay. Yan. Concentration versus reaction rate. So, sir, paano po gagawin ng chart yan? We can use scatter or try natin yung recommended. So, go to insert and then recommended charts. Click recommended charts. Yan. So, options, merong clustered column, may clustered bar, may scatter. Yan. So, try natin itong clustered column. You click OK. So, lalabas agad yung chart. Diba? Ganun ka simple. So, gawa na kayo ng design dyan. Pampaganda. Yan. Okay. So, question is curve fitting. Ano kaya yung possible na equation that will express or represent our data? Let's say, ang tanong dito is, ang tanong possible dito sa exam. Let's say, ang question is, a concentration of 2.4 moles per liter, ano yung kanyang reaction rate? Or, ano kaya yung concentration if gusto ko na ang reaction rate ko is nasa 10? Okay. So, pinakaunang gagawin is to model your data by adding trend line. So, click lang natin data, right-click, add trend line. So, instantly lalabas yung trend line. Kita nyo ba? Sorry, Baka ay sobrang lapit. Ayan. Alright. Katapos, select natin yung trend line. Baguhin ko lang yung kulay para may emphasis. Ayan. Tapos, pwede ka mag-change dyan ng dash. Ayan. Then, display natin yung, so click nyo lang yung display equation on chart, display R squared value on chart. So lalabas dapat yun. So, for purposes na ganito, palakihin natin. Ayan, kita nyo na. Kita nyo siguro. Okay. So, change lang natin yung option na in such a way na lalapit yung R squared sa value ng 1. Lalapit yung logarithmic. So, hindi. Polynomial. Yun, pwede ang polynomial. So, observe, naka-order of 2 lang tayo. Nasa value na 1 na siya. Gawin natin third order, mas lalong hahaba, 0.9997, and then ito ay fourth order, then fifth order. So, for practical purposes, para sa akin ay nag-a-approach naman na sa 1 yung R squared ng quadratic yung second order. Kaya I think this is okay. Kaya dito na tayo mag-settle. Yan, sa quadratic. So, yun, may equation ka na agad. So, masasagot mo na ang question kasi sa exam hiningi is what's the reaction rate at 2.4 concentration. So, tatype na lang natin yung equals 0.0487 times x squared plus 0.0037 times x plus 0.078. When you hit enter, yan, lalabas agad yung sagot. Okay. Nangyari dito. Yan. Okay, nasundan nyo ba? Any questions, clarification? Okay, tapos, when you want a reaction rate of 10, i-drag lang yung equation lang, no? So, at 0 na concentration, ang rate is 0.078. So, at 1, dapat gawin natin, kung saan natin na 10 to, so we have to go to data, then motif analysis goal seek, adjust natin siya to 10 by changing cell this one. So, adjust natin Excel real time. Yan. So, ang sagot is 14.23. Yan. Ganun lang. Any questions? Clarifications? Proceed tayo sa next topic. So, this one is, ang tawag na to? Data fitting lang din. Ganun lang. Yung ginawa natin kanina. So, ang recommendation ko dito is just use scatter. Try natin i-compare no baka may variations. So, insert scatter. Then, trend line, polynomial. Show equation, R squared. Point 0037. Oo nga, no? Parang may difference siya. 0.15. Baka baliktad. Okay. Alright. So, yun. May walang questions, clarification. Pwede din ganyan yung design. So, pag ganito, ang chart value natin is ito. Baguhin ko lang, this should be equal to 4.8674, then 0.0367. Yan. So, ang sagot pala dito is 28.20. Then, to approximate natin yung 10, go to data analysis. What if analysis goals? 10 by changing cell 14. Yan. So, ang sagot, 1.42. Okay. Yan. So, sir, paano po malalaman na tama na yung sagot? So long as yung data nyo is it makes sense, edi good to go. Kasi kanina, 2.4 pero iba yung value ng reaction rate. 1.42 pero iba yung value ng reaction rate. Unlike this one na medyo realistic. Yan. So 1, 1.42, 5, and 10. So proceed tayo sa next topic. So just to confirm, may copy naman kayo ng Excel file na to, no? Di ba sinend ko sa Facebook? Yeah. Last topic, time series and forecasting. So, when you do time series and forecasting, specific tong ganitong feature pag ang x-axis natin is, or it involves time. Naka-interval siya, naka per minute, per hour, per day, or every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 3 months, no, quarterly or yearly. So long as nakikita nyo ang data is involved ng time. So, time series. Then, forecasting, edi tinatry natin na i-predict. This time, not really quantities na physical quantities or related sa chemical engineering values. Pero this time, forecasting, tinatry natin mag-predict ng value na may factor ang oras or time. Yan. So, how to do it? We have two methods. Method 1 is forecast sheet. Yan. And then the second one is through exponential smoothing. Okay. So, ito yung example dyan na exponential smoothing. Pinapat-try, compute in the future. Ano kaya yung value on the next interval? Let's say, meron tayong ganitong data. So, you can recall, I think, assignment to. Assignment pa to? Kaya natin compute, no? Assignment pa to? Yan. So, meron tayo ditong last example natin. No? Date and time, tapos temperature. Kita nyo ba? Sorry. Magalaw lang. Yan. Date and time and temperature. Alright? So, fluctuating yung temperature natin. But as you can see, ang x-axis, granularity is in terms of time. Then, per hour. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yan. So, question, let's say, ano yung question dun? A forecast the next 3-hour temperatures and show the trend. Yan. So, what you have to do is just to highlight this data. Go to insert. Data pala siya. Data analysis. Data tab. And then, pa-confirm ako if you can see the forecast sheet na function. Parak na lang ha. If yung may mga open Excel. Kita nyo ba yung forecast sheet? Okay. So, yung forecast sheet, when you click that, real-time lalabas agad yung chart na hinihingi nyo. Yung historical data to create a visual forecast worksheet. So, nakita dito na yung prediction nyo is what you need is the next 3 hours. So, currently, nasa alas 9. So, prediction or yung forecast should end by 3 hours after. So, 9 plus 3, 12. Sakto. 12 noon. 12 p.m. Saan yung 12 p.m.? Ayan, 12 p.m. And then, makikita dito yung option na pwede siyang line chart or pwedeng, ang tawag nito, bar chart. So this can be anything, yung value ng temperature of, pwedeng any quantity yan. Time versus money, time versus number of something, any other variables na related to time. Pwede yung forecast. So when you click options, meron tayo dyang forecast start. Nakikita dito yung forecast niya is in punto dun sa last data mo, which is alas 9. So you can forecast at an earlier time. So gawin natin, let's say nag-start siya ng forecast alas 7. So select nyo yung 7 a.m. Yan. So mangyari yung chart, mag-a-adjust din yung forecast niya. Makikita nyo din agad yung adjustment. Okay. So meron dyang seasonality. When you say seasonality, naka-automatic naman yan. It detects kung ano yung data intervals natin. Naka per hour ba, naka per day, naka per week, or naka monthly. Kung itong set manually, pwede naman gusto nyo per hour, yun. Manual na season, gusto nyo ng every 2 years, tapos ang data nyo is every year. So, siya nagagawa ng adjustments nun. So, for now, ilagay ko lang na detect automatically and then include forecast statistics. Check natin yan. Okay, when you click create, you will be redirected to a new sheet. Tapos lalabas doon yung forecast sheet. So this table contains a copy of your data with additional forecasted values at the end. Yan. So, zoom ko lang. Baka hindi nyo kita. Yan. So, nakita dito, may statistics dito sa left. If you can recall the RMS, no? Root, mean, square, error, no? Mean, average, mean, error, meron dyan. Itong gamma, standard, errors, alpha, beta, gamma. Yan. Okay, so sa nakikita nyo dito, ang sagot, what's the predicted temperature for the next 3 hours is ito. Kita nyo ba? Yan, yun yung prediction for the next 3 hours. Yun yung sagot sa exam. Tapos, siguro, to be sure, minsan tinatanong, ano yung range? Adi, pagka alas 10 po, ang temperature is likely between 74 to 78. Pagka alas 11, 73.9 hanggang 72.5. So, yung binibigay na values dito sa right ay tinatawag na limits na or range. So, you have there the lower confidence bound and the upper confidence bound. So, based sa Excel calculation dito, kinakompute niya na yan kung ano yung possible na lowest value tsaka possible na highest value on that specific time period. So, based sa statistics lang din na calculation yan. Alright? Okay. So, ginagamit din yan pang predict ng mga other quantities. Let's say, time versus may volume ka ng tangke. So, kung may ganitong oras, ganito yung level. So, after how many hours mauubos yung tangke. Ganun. Or ma-achieve yung certain mass sa loob or level. Yan. So, ganun lang. Another way is through the tawag nito, yung go-to data analysis. Ito tinatawag na exponential smoothing. So when you do exponential smoothing, kung ang forecast sheet nakaka-predict ng how many hours ahead or how many days, how many quantities, or how many intervals or periods ahead in the future, yung exponential smoothing, nagpe-predict siya ng one value lang in the future. The next one interval or the next one period ahead. So, pag ganito, hourly. So, ang kaya niya lang is up to alas 10. Ano yung prediction niya pang alas 10? Pang next 1 hour data. So, when you click OK, try natin to. Special smoothing, input range, lagay natin yung ito. Okay. And then, damping factor. So, typical damping factor is just a number between 0 to 1. Ang ginagamit is 0.7. Pag hindi ka nag-supply ng value dyan, ang gagamitin niya is 0.7. So, for now, Huwag nating lagyan ng damping factor. Let Excel do its job. Gawin natin 0.7 yung default niya. Check nyo na lang yung label. Then, for demonstration purposes, check natin yung chart output and standard errors. Ano yung lalabas? So, output range, dito nyo na lang yan. You have to put the value next to the data. Yan. When you click OK, single row nga pala. So, dapat ang i-input nyo lang dyan is yung data mismo, yung 75, 76, 77. Yan. Click OK. Yan. So, ito yung data. Parang kulang ako. Wait lang. Go to data. Data analysis. Exponential smoothing. Ayan. Okay. So, pag kinlik ko yung labels, dapat salin natin yung label. Ito. Then, output range. Ito. Ayan. So, what you have to do to predict the next hour data, yung pang alas Gs, okay, you just have to drag the equation down. Ito. Hilain natin ito pababa. Yan yung sagot. 75.903. So, yan yung prediction niya for the next 1 hour, yung pang alas Gs. Okay? So, what if i-pull, what if i-drag ko pa pababa next? Yan. Mag-iba na yung sagot. Kasi, ito ay pang 11, no? Yan. For 11 o'clock, mag-error na siya. Kasi, if you're to inspect the data, wala siyang actual recorded value. Diyan. So, unless may value dito, saka magiging tunay yung calculation niya dito. Kaya, this explains why for exponential smoothing ay next 1 hour or next 1 period, next 1 interval lang yung kaya niyang i-predict yung forecast. Unlike yung forecast sheet na you may specify no, for how long ang kanyang prediction. This one. Yun. Okay, so ano to? Problems lang, no? Forward feed. Material balance lang yan. Using, pero material balance na merong forecasting if you want itong solids, boiling point, specific heat, heat solution. Tapos ito, drying, meron din yung X and Y, yung E and J. So, pwede yung i-plot. Yan. Then ito ay regression ata to, no? So, kita naman correlation between A and B. So, how to use correlation, regression analysis. So, how to compute yung Y using X1, X2, X3. Tapos, question, which independent variables are insignificant? Then, what is the linear regression model? Yan. Yun lang. Yun lang pala. So, tapos na tayo no, for topics 2 and 3. So, this Sunday, start na tayo for topic week 4 and week 5. Yan. Any questions, clarifications dito sa exponential smoothing, forecast sheet? Meron ba? Meron ba kayong question? Ito ay exponential smoothing. Okay, walang questions. Tapos na tayo. Sige, i-recap ko na lang para at least. Ayan. Yung mga pinagagawa natin dito. So, una natin ginawa is yung correlation. Dito pala yung smoothing lumabas. Oh. So, yung exponential smoothing, if you can recall, kanina meron siyang chart times Senelec. So, ito yun. Yan. Okay. So, makikita dito yung actual versus forecast. Yan. So, yung actual, yung blue, tapos yung tawag na to, yung orange, yung forecast niya. So, at some point, ay ahead yung actual, delay ang forecast. Then, minsan, yung mga forecast ay na uuna na kaysa sa actual. Yan. So yun sa exponential smoothing, we have as well descriptive statistics, regression, correlation. So yun lang. So lahat ay pwedeng makita sa data analysis, yung lima. No? So recap lang, data analysis, we have there correlation, descriptive statistics, regression, and ano ba yun? Pang-apat? Exponential smoothing. Yan. Okay. So yun lang. Any questions, clarifications? Last call? Tapos na tayo. Wala na. Okay. Alright. So, calling once, calling twice.